Hello team. Today's agenda we will see the complete overview of the application. So once we log in into the application, it will redirect to the application homepage. Here you can see we have application name outbound funds and we have all the related tabs like we have organization, we have contact, we have funding program, we have funding disbursement, we have funding request, we have MEL, we have co-funder details, and we have report and dashboard. So I'll show you how these are linked with each other. So suppose if I open any funding, so once I click on funding, once I click on organization tab, so you will be able to see all the records which is under the organization tab. So if I open any record, so you can see all the details of the organization like we have organization name, we have phone, we have website, we have partnership, we have primary contact. So all the details will be visible here. And now you can see we have funding request tab. We have added funding request tab here. Right now there is no funding request linked with this organization. So we have value 0. Also we have contact tab here, but right now we do not have any value of contact which is linked with this organization, so it is blanked. Also we have file, means if you want to upload any file respective with this organization, so you can go and upload the data, you can go and upload the file. You need to click on upload files and you need to select any file, and then you need to click on open, and then you can see file has been uploaded and you would be able to see the data here. You can upload multiple files respective with this organization, respective with particular any kind of request or record. So right now there is no funding request related with this organization, so I'm going to open a record which has these value. So I'm going to open action for kids. We can see all the details here, and if I click on funding request, so you can see we have one funding request. It can be either one, it can be either zero, it can be the multiple. So once I click on this funding request, it will redirect to the funding request tab where you can see all the details like for which organization it is linked with. So you can see we have applying organization, it is related with the action for kids. So that is why it was showing over there. Like this funding request is linked with this organization. And we have, you can see funding program. So this funding request is also linked with the funding program. Now I'll come and show you for the funding program. So once I click on funding program tab, we can see all the data which is already inserted in the funding program tab. So I'm going to click on any record. So you can see we are able to see all the details like funding program name, start date, end date, status, funding program manager, we can see total program amount, we can see. So now also we have funding request tab here. It will show you like how many funding requests you have respective with this funding program. As of now we have only one, so you can see we have this funding request respective with this funding program. So if you click on this funding request, it will redirect you to the funding request tab where you will be able to see funding program name, applying contact. You will be able to see, you will see all the details, all the fields value. And if I click on funding program, so it will redirect me to the same funding program. Also we have files here, and if you want to add some file, so you just need to click on add file, and then you can upload the file from here. And then I'm going to show you about the funding request. So I need to click on funding request tab. So once I click on the funding request tab, it will show all the data which is inside in the funding request tab. So I'm going to click and open any record. Now we have multiple related tab, like we have co-funder details, disbursement, MEL, and files. Again, if there is any co-funder related with this funding request, so it will show you here. It can be one or it can be either multiple. Again, if we have any disbursement respective with this funding request, it will show you here. Right now we have only one disbursement respective with this funding request, so it is showing me one. And we have MEL. If we have any MEL data respective with this funding request, it will show us here. Or either we can go and create from the new button. So you need to fill all the information and you need to click on save button. And also we have file tab here, by which you can go and upload the file respective with this funding request. As of now, we have one disbursement respective with this funding request. So I'm going to click on this disbursement, then it will redirect me to the disbursement tab. So you can see details has been open. We have all the details here. We have amount, we have status, we have type, we have schedule date, all the values we have. And it is telling us it is related with this funding request, you can see. So once you click on this funding request, it will redirect you to the funding request tab. And again, if you want to go to the disbursement, you need to come to the disbursement tab, and then you need to click on the record. Here we have file option as well as to upload the file for this disbursement. So that is how we have linked tabs with each other. Like organization, we have linked with like funding request, like funding program we have. Under the funding program, we have funding request, because request will become for the funding program. So we have linked funding request with the funding program. So you can see here we have funding request tab, we have added it. And under the funding request, we have added like disbursement will be created for the funding request. So we have added a disbursement tab here. Co-funder details, because details, values are, and the amount will be paid by the co-funder respective with the funding request. So we have added these co-funder details under the funding request. Also we have MEL. Suppose if we have any kind of MEL requirement for this funding request, so we can go and add it here. So that is how we have linked one tab to another tab. Thank you.